You feel like that's going to help you today?
No. But I put it up.
Excellent. Then I'm going to say hello to the people who are watching us for whatever their personal reasons may be. This is People's Exhibit, the only show that still charges you $10 if you watch us the second time, because you're only meant to watch us the one time because of the copyright issues that we had in 1951.
Yes.
Yeah, and joining me today is man in charge of collecting the $10 from you, if you do manage to watch the show twice, Ed Hicks.
Yep. And I know you've heard this before because this is the second time you're watching this, and you need to pay up.
But if you watch it 5 times, it's only $35 actually, like there's a discount.
But not with, you can't have an ad blocker on. This reminds me of that thing you tweeted the other day. Oh, it was a little while ago. It was when Mickey Mouse becomes public domain.
Yeah.
But it was the tweet was like, so if you're wondering when the deadline for the change of copyright
Law, yeah, in America.
it's going to be, there you have it. Perfect.
Did you see that Mickey Mouse thing by what's his name? The guy you follow? I see like his tweets from
Casey
you.
Green?
No, the other one.
Mike Sacco?
No, the other one.
Wint?
No, I know. I follow Wint too. The one who has like a little fat bird as his avatar. His name is like, and he was. Yeah.
Oh, Leon.
Yeah, Leon. Yeah. The one he had recently the thing from Achewood where the bear is making for the kid the pancake in the shape of Mickey Mouse. Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen that.
And there's a sequence of him imagining like this wonderful Mickey Mouse, and the second one is like the Mickey Mouse is Spanish for some reason and talks Spanish to him, and then he gets the real thing, and it's like a monstrosity, and he goes to bed crying. Which leads us to our first piece of news. This is, I guess, kind of Kickstarter news. In the best of Koreas, they're kickstarting a new time zone.
And apparently, every single person in Best Korea has chipped in at the top tier level.
Yeah, they have. They all paid everything they had, and they're very happy about it. And so the great leader is also very happy about it. This picture is, by the way, amazing. I have like about 20 of these. I collect them. I use them as reaction photos. But
most of the reactions are just glee.
yeah. Or just like what? And this is especially so like he's sitting outside clearly under the blue sky of the best Korea, and he has this polished giant desk with stuff he never touched. I don't know. It's wonderful.
A Coca-Cola, some binoculars, an ashtray or something, or is that just the ashes of like the person he was sitting next to yesterday?
That's the last guy they executed. Well, who was he? Like the vice prime minister or something like that. He got killed yesterday or day before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was their South Korean like negotiator with South Korea, and apparently he wasn't harsh enough with the. So I don't know. He got killed. Like they executed him like straight up, no trial. I think.
He was half an hour early or something.
Like exactly, yeah, exactly. It's funny because that's what the South Koreans then said. Because they have a Ministry of Reunification in the South, which I guess his effort is to reunify Koreas. And he was like, yeah, this is, probably the step in the wrong direction. And he listed a couple of things that, like, this was, bad for. And the last one was like, yeah, well, when we meet, like, it would be hard to determine when exactly we are meeting for the negotiations next time.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. Did you hear about that? In the same article I read this, there was also about other countries with weird time zones.
Oh, yeah.
And
there's a few half an hour ones, but there's that one.
The one with 15 minutes. Is it Nepal with a 15-minute
Yeah.
difference? Yeah, that's great.
That's asking for trouble.
That's wonderful. I wonder if you could like just someone would probably announce at some point like I'm having my own time zone and it's like 1 minute plus GMT.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to use that when work eventually goes, Ed, you come in at 9:50 every day. I'd be like, oh no, I'm from Nepal, and they're gonna be like, that doesn't wash.
Call me the Minuteman.
They call me the Minuteman because I'm unemployed.
Good stuff. I don't know what our next news is. Oh, it is about the unending debate about RNG and the
I don't
current.
know if you could technically call it a debate because it's just nonsense fired into nowhere most of the time versus some people going, well, actually, this, and this, and then just more nonsense fired into nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's how I view the thing as well. But I wanted to say that the prime
So I just saw the image.
the defender of RNG in general and specifically in video games. Yeah, exactly. It is the current king of RNG, Julian the First. Um, and this specific sort of us mentioning this originated from him writing. It's not really him writing. Like he was talking
No,
to
he
someone
was
from Gamma
interviewed.
Sutra or something.
Yeah, Phil Cameron wrote
Phil
it.
Cameron wrote about words that Julian, I heard him say about 15 times probably. And now it's also on Gamma Sutra if you want to take a
Yeah,
look.
it's not super fresh. I picked this one up, I looked at it, it said Julian Gollop, and I just pasted it in. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, anything that would, mean that we could get away with using this image, I think is fine.
Yeah, mission accomplished.
Someone should make a drawing of him as a King of RNG title or something. Or maybe like a wrestling belt that says that and he's like holding it up.
Julian barely able to hold it up. Sweat.
So in short, if you haven't been part of this debate, is it's all about people feeling that it's unfair if they roll a 90% chance thing in any game and then they that it doesn't work out. It's if they feel cheated apparently. And if you go to comments in like underneath this article, it's the same shit all over again.
Yeah, I actually thought this was going to be a really big article as well until I realised it ran out. There were some bullshit ads, and then there were just blocks of text.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll say this about it. Sorry to interrupt, but this is my fresh take on that argument, which is: imagine you won the lottery. Would you be angry?
That's pretty unfair. I mean,
would you be like,
I'll be upset.
this is broken. Fuck this.
Yeah. Can I see the formula you use for this RNG for the lottery, please?
I
think
unreasonable.
I think the way to solve this is to just straight up not engage people who have those ideas. It's pretty much like arguing people who are saying the Earth is flat or something like that.
Yeah.
I've never ever in my life felt like if I roll, 10 whatever D10 and get whatever I don't get, or I get 10 or whatever, something like that. There's something that is somewhat unlikely and it happens. I never go like, oh fuck this, who made this shit up, come on. There's one thing I remember when we first encountered this, and it was something you said that stuck with me, was if your chance of survival when you're crossing a street were 90%, you would never cross the street. And
You would look both ways at the very least.
Yeah. So yeah, that's. But I guess people don't really understand it. It's 9 out of 10. It's a good score. IGN gave it, kind of situation here.
Yeah. It burns onwards. I feel that probably something that would be useful to society as a whole is like outside of casinos, there should be Julian, and he should say, "Oh hi, I see that you want to go into this casino and play some games. Games of chance mostly." And they're all like, "Yeah, I know. I've got my money, got my chips." He's like, "Well, before you do that, why not? Let's play a couple of games of Chaos Reborn. It's actually a remake of a game I made 30 years ago, successfully kickstarted, and it's hex-based strategy." And they're like, "Okay," and he's like, "Anyway, here you go." And then they start playing it, and they could learn a lot about probability before they go into the real world of a casino, which isn't really a real world, and lose all their shit.
Yeah, and they would become wizards before they became poor.
I like that. There was that discussion about the rank of the top wizard, and Julian realizing that he can't call someone a grand wizard because of the connotation. Maybe it should be like Poker Champ or something to do with cards.
RNGesus. Oh god.
Oh man, I want him next to Doritos Poke, but he's just like RNGesus. That'd be awesome.
I'm writing too many yo-yo-yos in the thing. We're both firewater gasoline, do you realize?
Yeah, I know. I
Okay.
logged in as you on on Twitch from the last
I think it's
stream,
better
and I
this
haven't
way.
had a chance to log out.
I think it's better this way.
That's fine.
Yeah, let's confuse them. Speaking of confusion, good thing I mentioned that. Here's this thing. So this is a video of that Ed couldn't watch due to his.
I did actually end up watching
Oh,
it.
okay, cool. This is a press conference, Electronic Arts press conference. They're talking about the new DLC for Sims 4.
4.
And it's definitely the most cringe thing I've seen this year. Could be for a few years. You should really watch this with sound. And again, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link to this video. So what happens briefly if you can't be fucked to actually do that? So she comes out and she's trying to hype people up about the DLC, which I don't think she even names. And then she's like, what people get from Sims is they rule. You rule in Sims, and they have a hashtag there like you rule or something.
Very clever because it's both controlling the lives of everybody, but also you're the best. You rule.
Yeah. It goes deep. That hashtag cuts deep, and then after that immediately she goes, why don't we turn this press conference into a party and rule right now or something like that? And then these people come out and start very energetic dancing, and like nothing stirs in the audience.
No.
It's the highest
You
threshold.
notice how when they dance, they just immediately go off the stage. There's no opportunity for crowd reaction.
Yeah.
Or anything. You can actually see the huge doors that they are basically sprinting out of.
Did you see?
Because they know that they're just gonna get fucking pelted with tomatoes.
Did you see how they shuffle her out? Because during this dancing, a guy comes up to. So first they do a fake selfie, that one, and then the guy comes up behind her and just like shoves her away with him, and they go like kind of sprinting and dancing, and they go through the door.
That's how sex works in The Sims, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And the stinger, the only reason to watch this video, I think, is right at the end when the next guy comes on, and he's like, "That was fun. I feel like dancing, but I won't." So zombies vomiting fish guts. Just cut.
Yeah, it was a pretty good cut. The guy who did that, he was so good. Yeah, exactly.
So how do you cleanse the palate? I know. We'll send on this fucking guy. He knows
Rotten
what's
fish.
up.
Yeah.
Well, that's an easy act to follow.
Anything I say is gold now.
Yeah. Ought to be a meme. Fuck this. So yeah, there's no information in this. I mean, yeah, we're laughing at a video, but we didn't actually learn.
No. Maybe she said something before that. All I know is that it's some DLC for Sims 4. That's it.
Yeah, the marketing to 40-year-old mums DLC.
Yeah.
What it looked like.
Because they love parties. Moms like to party.
Yeah, parties that look like that.
Yeah.
On commercials.
Unfortunately, that DLC is something you need to pay for if you want to, get the full 40-year-old mom experience. But Rising Thunder is now fully free, and you can start playing any time because they've done testing their servers.
Yep, it appeared to work. There obviously were a couple of connection problems, but they were surmountable. They were all right, and then they got better, and then yeah, it's now available to all. It was not like it became free; it just became available because no one's paid a cent for it yet.
Yep. I was gonna tweet them today and ask them if they could sell me some lipstick for my robots, because I think this is the game I would buy hats in. So.
Yeah, but only because you want them to eat. I'd buy all that shit and not put it on the character.
You could transfer them to me. I'll put my own character. Got 2 hats.
Oh no, people will see that I have all this shit in my inventory and be like, dude, do you want to trade? Oh, I could have people fight me for it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, if you win, I can trade with you, maybe.
If you win, I'll log out real quick. But yeah, I was playing a bit more of that today. I'm starting to get used to the keyboard control. And you saw that image where I popped out the keys around the ones I'm meant to have.
Is it helping you?
Yeah, it does help a bit.
Okay.
I'm waiting for those textured keys to come in, so then I can have know exactly where I'm on. Because I sometimes, if I'm like lifting too high, I'll hit the wrong row or lose my place. Having a return key as throw is good, but yeah, I'm getting it as well. It's just practice as well. But I think it'll be really nice once I've got the textured keys in there.
I hope they're not coming from that one factory in China that blew up.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Is that on the? That's not on the docket, is it?
No, it's not. But it did
That
blow.
shit's
That
nuts.
wow, yeah, that was like damn. And there was
I
like three explosions too. That was just not just one. I don't know what they were
yeah.
storing in there, but that looked like it was bombed out by like airplanes bombed it
I
kind of
sort
thing.
of the first thing I saw was a vine, and I just thought, oh wow, that's kind of alright movie effects. Very well shot. Has running past the trucks, the silhouette against the explosion looks very nice. I wonder how they did that. And then I was like, wait a minute, that's an actual real fucking explosion, and that guy is just an extremely talented cameraman.
Yeah, and there was 17 people like died. They were like, essentially they were putting out a fire. 17 firemen were there, and the first
Damn.
fire, and that thing they were putting out exploded. They like died immediately, and then there's like another one, or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, or maybe
Yeah.
two or three explosions.
There was some drone footage as well after the fact today that went up, and that it was nuts. It's like an area that's just cargo containers that
Yeah.
were stacked up, and it just looks like a knocked over Jenga thing. You're just like, oof.
Yeah, there is like
What?
literally twisted metal. Sorry
Yeah.
for the video game pun. Like there's like traffic signs that bent over because of the explosion.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nuts.
So
So,
I don't know how
yeah.
to tie this in into the next thing, which is Resident Evil 2 remake. But here we go. There's no
It's the
explosion
year
so
of
far.
dreams coming true and nightmares.
Yeah, I guess. So they did their announce thing
Yeah.
by wearing a T-shirt that says "We do it," and we mentioned this previously. So they were like, "Oh, guys, would you be into like Resident Evil 2 remake?" And we're
Because we've
saying,
been working on it for 6 months already.
yeah, if not more. Which they didn't mention, but we figured them out. We got their number, and
That's a guess, by the way, everybody.
no,
We're
we
being
knew it.
cynical.
No. Well, our inside people, informants within, is it Namco?
Resident Evil's Capcom.
Is it Capcom? Okay, so within Capcom, confirmed, and now they do it apparently. So they're pretty thankful and grateful for your input.
We
Oh.
do it.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
pretty
that
much
should
it.
be
That's-
like a exclamation. One of the next Rising Thunder characters will say that if they
we
win.
do it.
We do it.
Excellent. They only have a Korean. No, wait, these are Japanese people. No, they don't have a Japanese character.
No, they've got Chinese, Korean, Spanish, Russian.
She's Mexican.
Oh yeah, Mexican.
Racist.
No,
And American.
and an American. Yeah,
Yeah. So there's still place for Japanese. Obviously,
and
they...
British.
Oh yeah, I guess it's gonna be guy with fish and chips or something. Yeah.
Big robot cod.
Yeah. I don't think there was ever a British character in a fighting game that was like, all right. There's always.
Dudley.
Well, yeah, Dudley's I guess okay. Yeah. Well, I guess Dauntless is kind of like Dudley, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, so it won't be the same
Yeah.
character.
But they would probably have more than one boxer. I would
Maybe.
imagine.
Then they'll have like a charge character. No, that won't work. They don't have motions. But yeah, some like Balrog type. That'd be funny.
The whole sword mechanic is very interesting for Edge. I've been playing more with Edge, so we've got to make a video
Oh, yeah.
call with Tuaro. Yeah, because it behaves differently depending on whether it's charged or not. And you can like sort of charge your sword.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, wait, Cammy is British? No way.
Yeah, and Birdie as well.
I know Cammy's British?
Yeah, Cammy.
Okay. I could never.
Is Birdie British or is he?
No, Birdie
he-
is British.
Yeah.
He's British
not-
Caribbean,
he's
isn't
not
he?
just in Caribbean. He's British
Yeah,
Caribbean.
yeah, yeah. Because he had, isn't there was a thing where him with some Union Jack stuff somewhere at some point, some promotional? Maybe, I don't know.
I don't really want to look up images of Birdie that much.
Yeah, no, it could end pretty poorly. We have also additional info on the whole the Dinklage gate. You remember Dinklage gate last episode? Yeah.
This story really got legs.
Why don't you tell us what's the new development here, Ed?
I think what's happening is basically there's going to be an expansion on Destiny, a game that none of us have played or will play, which had originally had some voice acting from Dinklage playing the character Ghost, who's kind of a narrator for the player. And in this expansion, they have said what's the name of the fucking company again? Bungie.
Bungie.
Have said, oh yeah, they're getting Noel North, who obviously they've worked with before because he's in every single game ever made, and then people are like, oh, why no Dinklage? Oh. And it's sort of it's
I
sort
love
of
that the people are dogs.
holiday Hollywood thing. Sort of merging into it feels like a magazine is hit me from a gale force wind and it says like 11 ways to tease your man's cock and you're just trying to like sweep it off your face but it's there and it's giving you sex tips and that's what all this news about Peter Dinklage and fucking Destiny sounds like. But apparently he's busy, which is kind of funny because later on in the article they say they get Nathan Fillion and they say he's busy, but it's great when he's there.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a contradiction. But yeah, essentially they kind of want people to stop talking about this, so they're trying to address it. But all that's happening is people like us keep talking about it every fucking week.
We got to talk about this next week as well, even if there's no update. We're just gonna repeat what we already said. And there will also feature an article by Dinklage about how to 10 best ways to fondle your man's cock. Which leads us to this child-friendly video. So apparently, I found out with a little help from a Eurogamer that the most popular, as in most views, video game video on YouTube is this. It's a cutscene plus gameplay footage of Cars tying Mario Kart's clone that some guy in somewhere middle of nowhere England made in 2011 for his sort of website. He does video game reviews or something like that, just as an illustration. And this is what the gameplay looks like. Yeah. So, and this is now the number one, and has been for some time, most watched in terms of views, not in terms of hours. I'm not sure if the hours are actually, it is for number one by the hours watched. So if aliens ever feel like, oh, there's video games that like people talk about from this planet, well, what are they? And they just like type in, okay, video games, and they will find this, and it will be a sad day. It will be a sad day for video games, because that means they will conquer Earth and we would never have gotten our Citizen Kane of video games. Unless, obviously, this is the Citizen, because no one knows what Citizen Kane of video games is, so it could be this thing, which is still a cutscene. By the way, this is like the entire time I've been talking about, this is still the cutscene. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, you know, you have the popularity of things like Minecraft with very young people. Everyone's got access to the internet now, and let's be fair, the name of this video is Cars 2 HD gameplay compilation. Like that, I think what I suspect happened was basically this guy accidentally cracked like the RSA algorithm for equivalent algorithm for searching search results videos. Like this was the golden ratio of search terms. Like that maybe there was even a commented outline in the actual search thing, which is like, if fail Cars 2 HD gameplay compilation. I think every fucker just got a link to this, and then enough people clicked, I guess.
Yeah, maybe he. The saddest thing about this is that he only managed to monetize this, or monetize this 2 years after. Like he put it up, yeah. So he lost out on a whole bunch of money. So now, when this is like already like past his peak, like long past his peak, he's making about $400 a month. Now, when like he's getting
he
like
could have bought a house.
Yeah, like, and most of his 100 million views just went to nothing. He didn't even make any money out of it, and he didn't ever. I don't think he ever even had a copyright claim or whatever. He just didn't he was like, whatever, monetization, what's that kind of thing. And there was a time where he was getting 200,000 views per day for this, and it was for a month. Yeah, he could have quit his job by now.
There's still no real sufficient explanation as to why this happened. It's not like it was an exclusive.
No one really knows. It's something to do with algorithm fuck up, or a lot of people apparently, putting this on for the kids, thinking it's the movie.
Oh, maybe because the cinematic was long enough.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, look, it's the cartoon or whatever
And that's
that
it,
they
and
made.
they just leave it. But I just don't see that as being that common a scenario.
I think
don't
it's an
know.
algorithm fuck up, or maybe an
Yeah.
experiment.
This is actually DARPA. It's like, what happens if we just give everyone this very generic Cars 2 video, and then we'll study what happens afterwards? They do shit like that.
Could be, yeah, or it could be like. Again, I talk about this a lot, but the cook from the Catch-22 that feeds soap to people to prove the point that they'd eat anything. There you go. So
It's really encouraging us spending time making like online video that we think is something we'd like to watch, and we hope that you do too, and all this shit. When apparently you'll just watch anything.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
all right, I'm closing the channel right now. There's no point.
It's over.
It's over.
That's it. Final video will just be called like Cars 3 HD sneak peek.
And it also makes sense to call this a game over because we talk about video games. So final video is going to be called Game Over. It's going to be text says Game Over, and the music behind, like the background music, is going to be the sandstorm, whatever it's called.
During Sandstorm.
Yeah. The video game national anthem of the world.
Oh god. Yeah.
Speaking of video games, YouTube gaming is closer than ever, friends. Which is actually just YouTube streaming service with a slightly misleading name.
Yeah.
And it's apparently coming also to PlayStation, but this isn't confirmed fully. It's just some of those people who like to dig into stuff and get stuff out of the stuff that is hidden under other stuff. They found that apparently it's a thing, which is like understandable because they have a Twitch streaming, so it would make sense that they have a YouTube streaming as well. It should be actually happening in like a week.
Yeah, it's pretty soon, I
I think it was 20th of August, but I may be mistaken. But I think that's what they told me. They told me 20th of August.
Okay.
So, yeah, so in a week's time, we should be, even this show should be on YouTube instead of Twitch.
Excellent.
If everything works out.
That would be good. I've said before why I'd be interested in a good generic streaming service that's just of high quality. And to be honest, like if I never see another Kappa face in my life, I'll be very happy.
Do you think they'll come up with something just for...
They will probably have some kind of thing. You know, they'll be like, I don't know. There'll be a bunch of like ABC, XYZ related puns and stuff, and a Google but with eyes that animate.
Oh god,
stuff.
that is horrible.
Really like misguided corporate brand stuff, I think.
That is pretty...
They won't quite get it.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon, but...
Because all the stuff on Twitch was also user-generated that became popular, I think. So
yeah,
I guess they'll
it
start...
just kind of embraced memes.
Yeah, sort of.
Which is smart, but gross.
Oh, there you go. He's doing it now. Look at the chat.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks,
Table salt.
Thanks,
That's
Trencher.
good.
Yeah. Where's the pepper? Fine. Which is what that GTA 5 modders said when they got banned. Because they were probably pretty salty about it. So some people made alternate multiplayer mod, I guess, or service, pretty much for GTA. So there's GTA 5, which is the GTA single player experience. And then there's GTA Online, which is the GTA Online experience. Both of those are video game experiences. And so they made a separate thing because you can't mod the online one. It was expressly...
Against the rules.
Yeah, expressly expressed that specifically you can't do this. And so they made their own online service and got banned as a result. So at first no one really knew what the hell happened because seemingly they were doing everything according to the rules. And I'm actually not sure what exactly is happening in the mod, but it's something. I think it also allows for modding the maps that you play on. So you could just have like some kind of different map and use the engine and play on that like sort of very liberal kind of Gary's mod kind of whatever goes stuff. And they were even saying that we are protecting against piracy. So I don't know why because when they got banned, they thought, oh, well, I guess they're thinking we are facilitating piracy because obviously if you pirate the game, you can't play online. But now that there is another alternate online service, they could potentially do that. But they're saying we need you to log into the social club, which would mean that you have the game to actually play on our server. But then Rockstar said that they were actually facilitating piracy, and that was it.
Yeah,
That's the comment they made. There was
that's pretty bad.
yeah, there was nothing
Yeah.
like there's no other explanation besides there's something in their code that facilitates piracy, which I guess is the again legalese for we don't like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds a bit like that. Yeah, so the entire point of this multiplayer thing was to get around the fact that they weren't allowed to modify the multiplayer, so that they couldn't make, like shit that would make it super unfair, and that's understandable, obviously, having
Yeah.
that rule in place. But then this workaround is actually pretty cool because they spend a lot of time make this independent multiplayer experience. They even go as far as trying to make the users, force users to be verified through this system. There's been a couple of updates on this story I see at the top on the article, and one of them is that this social club login that they're using to try and verify the user doesn't actually guarantee that they own this game. It may be that they just need to own a Rockstar game and then they can play it, which
Possibly.
may then actually lead to the conclusion that it could be used to pirate a multiplayer experience, in that you can probably play offline without having it verified. You probably can't play online in their multiplayer
Yeah.
without it being verified. If you use this other verification system, I guess I can see the scenario where you can have pirated the game, installed this mod, and then be playing this mod's multiplayer and be quite happy.
Yeah.
If I was Rockstar in this position, I would kind of leave them to it in that instance, because it's still not fucking up the experience of anybody, and it's not like you're going to eradicate piracy. And I always think you should never get on the bad side of modders, because they're working for free on making your game be played.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can see from legal standpoint how that kind of does create a loophole, and it's 50-50. I wouldn't have pursued this, but I can see why they're doing it, kind of just based on these updates on this story.
The shareholder would be upset though. They don't like pirates, I heard. Apparently that, a long time ago, there were, in the Stone Age, there were two tribes. One of them
Shareholders of pirates.
yeah. Ah, you ruined the story!
Let's play shareholders of pirates. Okay, I've got the briefcase. No, give me the briefcase. No,
Arr, matey, briefcase now!
I own a 51% share of your boat. I'm the captain now. Oh shit!
That's a true story, by the way. Not making this shit up. Another true story, right now coming up, is that Paradox is making a new grand strategy plus 4X game called Stellaris, which is kind of like Solaris, but not really.
Yeah,
In terms of
it's
its
not
name.
suable.
Yeah. They have no legal recourse. So this is the same team who made this is their internal development, whatever, in-house studio who made Crusader Kings 2, and I think all the other grand strategy stuff like Europa Universalis, I think 4 and probably 3, and the Iron Hearts whatever 3 or 4 is coming out soon. So
Yeah.
essentially, I read the Howard, whatever, the giant report that RPS had on this. So it's very similar in many ways very recognizable as a 4X game. And it's similar, for example, to Galactic Civilizations 3, so Galciv 3, in some ways. But at the same time, it has what they're striving for, and which is really cool and interesting, is to have it interesting and different at every stage of the game.
Oh.
Or so they, at least on paper.
Right.
So, because by the time like you were in the late game, you kind of know if you won or lost, sort of thing, and you're just waiting for the results to come out.
That's one of the things with growth type
Yep.
strategies is they definitely have a lot of that.
And here they have a lot of things that could flip things around, and they have elements. For example, this game could turn into some kind of like sci-fi horror by the end of the game, because your science vessel discovered a portal to a different dimension, and the things from the void are coming in, and then you have to militarize quickly, otherwise they take over or whatever. Or you discover something horrible on your planet, and there's a subterranean race on your home world that is like spilling out of the hole in the ground and taking over, etc., etc. So
From the sea?
I think this was from the ground that in the example, but could be from the sea. I mean, we could mod it to be from the sea. If
Could
that's
it be terrifying?
Oh my god! I know what you're thinking. Could it be the pirates and shareholders spilling out from the hole in the ground, covered in shit?
Shame my band split up, otherwise I'd have changed their name to that. Pirates and shareholders coming out the ground.
Shame we don't do that joke anymore, otherwise we could definitely do that. So it's pretty interesting in that sense, all your enemies are constantly randomly generated, sort of, to a certain degree, so they're randomized. You don't know who you're playing against until you discover them, and you may have never played them before in previous playthroughs. And a lot depends on... So your tree has secret items that may never be discovered, which is like your research tree is very sort of unusual. It's less a tree and more cards. So you pull out something, and what it is it depends on your culture and the scientist that you have. So if a scientist, for example, previously failed a couple of dark secrets of the world thing, then he could, or maybe he didn't fail and he's really good at them, and now like all the stuff that comes up is some horrible shit from a different dimension. It's the only thing he wants to research, which like opens up venues for pretty good and pretty interesting stuff. And it also will have, I think, multiplayer where you can play as many people as you like.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. It's unlike Crusader Kings in the sense that you start as a single planet. Oh, we just discovered FTL. And everyone starts that way, as opposed to in Crusader Kings, like, oh, someone is the Holy Roman Empire, and other guy is Ireland.
Yeah.
Or whatever, one, like Cork, or something, I don't know.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, Limerick. So, yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, on paper it sounds fun, and they already have a Steam page with coming soon! So I don't know if they'll try to butt into the holiday thing, so maybe after New Year, something like that. I don't know, because they have for holiday season they have the Iron Hearts thing coming up, so possibly they wouldn't want to stick both of those things together.
Yeah, well, as long as it's not like Spore, which kind of promised some of the same things, are we good?
What was the genre of Spore?
That was one of the problems.
You know, there are those games they existed for a long time. The ones where like you have like several genres in it. Like one is like RPG plus, then you're flying a thing now, and then there's they used to make them in the 80s or maybe early 90s as well. So Spore was kind of like that, wasn't it? I never played it. I just know sort of it.
I'm trying to think what the most successful example of that is. So I guess XCOM does have 2 games in it whenever you play it, which is kind of nice, and they're both pretty good.
Yeah.
Just trying to think if there's any other like decent examples of that.
Well, there's a lot of stuff where you can go into first person.
Yeah,
but it's
I
not
guess
really...
the Total War, it's more the same, except it's just different levels of the same thing, though. I don't know. There's something where it's totally different game modes.
There's at least one I remember is like some kind of superhero game. I guess either late 80s, early 90s, where it's like it's Missile Command clone plus some kind of RPG stuff plus some kind of shooting things differently. Like it's like 4 games in one, and you go through each stage. Oh, I know one, DuckTales. That does several things. For example,
really?
DuckTales has a strategic level where you choose the missions or where to go and which one after which one, and you do the money management. One of the DuckTale games, anyway. The one where you Scrooge McDuck is competing with what's his face, the evil guy, also rich. You know the other dude. He wears green stuff.
Warren Spector?
Is it?
I'm kidding.
I don't remember his name. And I think his name is like Patrick or Fitzgerald or something. I don't know, like something like that. Anyway, so that guy, and then you need to be richer than him by the end of the game. So there's the element where you plan where you go. Then the second one is you're flying the airplane in 2D sort of, what's that famous game with 2D planes? It starts with I don't remember. Anyway, it's a very, very old vector game with 2D planes flying. So it's like that. And then you land and you get one of 5 or 6 different missions. And one of them is a labyrinth. The second one is climbing on like a platforming thing. And the third one is something else, etc., etc. So that's that is a definite example of what I'm talking about. DuckTales.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's on Steam
Nice.
now, so you could actually take a look if you wanted to. Which leads us, not really, to the next thing is no connection to what I was talking about before. Fingered!
So let's look at Fingered.
I keep forgetting the last name of the guy who made Isaac. Macmillan? No.
Macmillan. Edmund Macmillan.
Edmund Macmillan, famous for Binding of Isaac and Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
Apparently already made another game called Fingered. And it's a surreal police simulation, sort of.
Apparently, according to this article at least, I have no further information. There's a weird trailer. There's a single screenshot of some fingers.
Yep. And the trailer is very
And
similar to the
that's it.
trailer he had for Isaac as well, because the Isaac trailer
really?
is yeah. If you look it up, it's I'm not even sure there is any game footage in there. It's just a guy rolling around on the ground. He's sort of naked, and the mother is yelling at him, Isaac, Isaac, and he's like crying.
That sounds fun, but at the same time, it feels a little bit like, you know, the early 2000s when like Newgrounds and there was salad fingers and stuff. It just kind of feels like that.
Yeah, I don't actually like I don't like Isaac, but I don't like the trailer either. When I saw the trailer,
No, that's the thing. I was kind of dancing around there. I didn't think. I understood what they were trying to do with the trailer. Kind of going for almost a going for the surreal, funny, almost a Stanley Parable angle of humor, if you know what I mean. Just like, haha, we're being weird. But it went on too long.
Yeah, I mean this one or the Isaac one. This one.
This one, I haven't seen the Isaac one.
Oh yeah, because this one was probably worse. Isaac one is a bit shorter at least. This is just like someone droning on about fingers. I skipped. I watched like third and then I skipped through and I saw that the images were the same, so I just clicked it.
Well, I have something very similar to that you would actually enjoy though, which is I believe it's called. I think it's Matthew Berry doing a relaxation tape, and it's this like. Yes, it's like a 10-minute hypnotization, relaxation thing where he's doing kind of the same thing, but it's much more subtle, much better executed. Possibly inspired this, but it's actually really, really good. And I'll paste this into the chat.
Cool. So in here, this is also kind of reminiscent, or again, by the way it's described, the game is reminiscent of Papers, Please, almost. So you are some kind of not very sane policeman. And you're given descriptions of people who are suspected of homicide, and then you need to, according to those descriptions, just finger one of them, and they'll be guilty or whatever. You know, they just get put away or killed or something. I don't know what exactly happens in the game, but it's like
read the trial.
Yeah. So it's essentially description, and then pick who you think is guilty. That's it. Go to next or something. And it's gonna be out on the I think 18th of August, which is in 5 days, and it's gonna cost $1.87, which is the penal code for homicide in California or something like that.
Yeah, that I don't know.
At least it's cheap.
It's cheap, yeah. I get told it in the article, and then I'm like, oh, I understand. I feel like I'd feel better if I'd worked that out myself, but I also think that's not something anyone would work out, so they just said it.
I'm not sure that maybe the guy who wrote the article worked out for himself. I mean, you don't know this.
Or maybe it's a coincidence.
Maybe, yeah, or maybe it had nothing to do. He just likes that number.
Loves it.
Yeah. And $1.87 is less than $10, which is what you will have to accept as payment if you ever want to get rid of your Oscar, apparently.
So at least if you're trying to sell your Oscar, you could definitely get fingered regardless of the outcome.
Fingered is, I guess, if you're lucky, fisted more like.
You just get like a 5-pack for your friends and it's fisted. Money. Just money.
This is very strange. So apparently, if you want to get rid of your Oscar, and you are as the person who received it, or the people who have inherited it, like say your father or your mother got the Oscar.
So the estate of the person who...
Yeah, so that you can't sell it until you offer it back to the Academy that issued it for $10. Isn't that convenient? I think that's pretty convenient for the Academy.
That's pretty disgusting.
That is
Isn't it?
disgusting. That's kind of thing. Like, I would never get an Oscar even if I tried. But like, I would be like, fuck this. I mean, you're not really giving this to me. You're just lending it to me for a bit, and then I have to give it back at some point when, like, I'm in 200 years, someone's gonna be like, what the fuck is this? And they're like, oh, sorry, you can't, here's a $10, give us back the golden piece.
Yeah, and you'll be like, I'm sorry, I don't have change as small as $10.
I wonder if they, in the rules, they actually have it inflation adjusted somehow. I guess they don't, because, like, in 100 years, $10 is gonna be, like, a fart. It's like...
In 100 years, around a campfire, our great-grandchildren will be saying, and they traded these papers called dollars for things of value. And they'll be like, I wish I had something of value, and the wind would howl. and they're all eating off of Oscars. They've skewered meat onto them, and they're just eating...
Or they're eating nuts and they're cracking them with Oscars. Because... Yeah, no, that's a really old rule. That goes back to 1951, so it's been in place for a long time. I wonder if you... So I can't sell it because they're like, oh, it can't be a commodity. But can I destroy it? I mean, does
Pay me to not destroy it.
Yeah, what if I just, like, I'm rich enough to send it into space? Or what if I'm crazy enough to actually walk up to, like, a working volcano and just put it in there? What, were they gonna just sue me for destroying my Oscar? I mean, what?
No, destroying their property. You owe $10.
I guess I'll owe them $10, yeah. Because if they sue you, and then all they're offering, if you were to sell it, all they're offering is $10, like, technically you owe them $10, right? That's what it's worth to them.
I think, isn't the article saying that the huge amount of money you make off of selling them, like, they claim that back? Or you have to return that, or something?
What they claim what back?
Well, let's see. So Oscar statuette last year changed hands for like 80 grand. Can be reclaimed. Oh no! So I think the person who makes the sale still. Oh, I don't know actually.
It's very strange. Yeah,
they're on the hook, right?
Yeah, it's very strange because in that specific one, the in question, the last one. So someone who was, whatever the estate of the person, they sold it to one auction house who sold it to another auction house. Right. And the last auction house was like, fine, we paid $76,000 for this, but fine, we'll give it back to you for $10. But they're still suing the first auction house, who so far has made over $3 million selling Oscars. It's like their thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that could be interesting of like how that turns out for them, because that case is still happening. I don't think that ever like finished.
So wait, hang on. So they've handled the auction of 15 Oscar statues. Why don't they just pay them the $150?
Right?
I'm sorry.
Consider
this payment.
And they give him 200. Like, I'll keep the change. It's fine. Dicks.
It's just weird. It's weird. I don't get it. It's very petty because like they're probably doing all right.
Yeah.
And also, it reminds me a little bit of that AI story we were talking about a while ago, which was people saying, don't make AI for weapons. And you say, well, it's impossible to separate AI and AI for weapons, just the same way it's impossible to separate a knife as a tool from a knife as a weapon. And if you're going to make something de facto valuable, like someone's signature could be valuable.
Yeah.
Like this thing instantly has value, and they know it has value, and it's horribly dishonest for them to have this rule. And I think they may even have grounds. Somebody may have some. I reckon someone could find some legal grounds to say this is bullshit and have this just like.
Not in America though. I don't know, man. Like the fucked up laws hold up like a lot in America. I don't know. Maybe at some point, but. I think of copyright and then then say that this should go away or whatever will go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I wish that those poor firefighters in China hadn't died and instead Hollywood had.
It's not even made of gold, as far as I know. It's just coated with gold. Like I think Tuna mentioned there the story with the Nobel Prize. The Nobel whatever thing, the medal. It is golden, and so is the stuff you get for the for Olympic Games, because there was a recent story when someone sold their Olympic medal because they were starving,
Right.
and they sold it for like a lot of money, and then some Russian oligarch bought it and gave it back to them and was like, "It's okay, you take this." Uh,
Oh yeah, I remember hearing that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, but with Oscars, you can't even melt the thing down. It's fake to begin with.
Yeah.
Like it's just like probably has like a 2 grams of gold. You can't even like get anything for it. The whole point of it is that it has a name on it, and it was given to someone who was actually at some point maybe good at making movies. That's it.
Yeah, it's just a historical artifact, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So there's also a lot of people who sold it on eBay and they can't even catch them because it's like a sort of like you went under the radar.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have one at work, our Gladiator Oscar.
Oh well.
It's in the thingy cabinet. So I was thinking maybe I'll just put a post-it on there. It's for sale, $10.
Oh, maybe you could get some $10 for that. I mean, that you can get like buy a burrito for that money.
Yeah, but not with mole.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
I mean, at least they didn't sue themselves, unlike some people we know. So
Oh, very good.
movie industry for the win. So people, I guess it was their PR company or whatever, like who was handling their image or something.
They hired someone to handle their image. Right? This sounds like a subsidiary of a subsidiary who hired someone who's a subsidiary of someone else.
Yeah. So they I think was it Vimeo that they brought
Yeah,
yeah.
this is primarily on Vimeo.
So-
and this all went down.
Pixels, the amazing amazing movie about video games, sort of, which is really good. You should definitely watch it. Managed to DMCA themselves on Vimeo, which is like quite an achievement. It's not easy to do that.
Themselves and many others.
And many others, and everything. There's also a couple of very dedicated, well, as the media described them, trolls, who were filing copyright claims for everything that contained the word "pixel" in it on Vimeo.
That's terrible. That's terrible. That's why I titled this segment, Adam Sandler technically owns every single digital image in the world.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Oh man,
we don't have
that's
any.
awful.
We don't have any pixels in our video titles, I think, so we're fine. We should be okay.
We'll be okay.
I'm sure there's gonna be like YouTube video just so like, oh, look at the pixel art game I made. Oh, sorry, copyright claim from Adam Sandler.
We should maybe make a game called Pixel Scrolls, and then Edge Craft. What do you think? Pixel Scrolls Edge Craft.
Too soon, man. Scrolls.
It's a MOBA.
Too soon.
Wait.
Scroll's corpse is still warm.
Wait, sorry, it's a MOBA. It's a MOBA, so it's Scrolls of the Pixels.
It's already good.
Edgecraft. Money.
I think that's great. Hamus says that someone fucks Qbert in that movie. I mean, I kind of want to watch it now.
Oh wait, oh yeah, because Qbert turns into a sexy lady, isn't it?
Then I don't want to watch that. I thought it was
I
Qbert as Qbert.
with the what's it called? The fleshlight face.
Yeah, because I just find the logistics of it funny. My new band, by the way, I'm coming back with this joke. Logistics of sex.
You're having a reunification tour or whatever.
Yeah,
the fuck.
exactly. Yeah, reunion.
Reunion, rather. Oh Jesus!
Try out the Adam Sandler Movie Maker.
This is great.
What is that?
It generates an Adam Sandler like poster and movie, I think. Great new movie.
Oh, you just like
Catholic
it.
Chef.
Time mowing digger. Well, is this like new every time?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can hit create. I don't know if they've actually just generated like 20 and you just randomly picking, or if it truly is an automatic generator, which would be great.
Hell of a firefighting, choking the flames in hell.
This is fantastic.
That's pretty good. Excellent. Speaking of flames in hell, this is a great segue to our last piece of news today, which is about a leaked Fallout 4 gameplay footage
Oh yeah,
that ended up on Pornhub.
of course.
I tried to find it
Hmm.
in the name of science.
I accidentally found it while I was doing something else, and then found out it was on the docket.
So apparently there was some kind of extremely private screening of gameplay at Gamescom, where like only select few lizards were allowed to slither their tongue out of their mouths at the gameplay of Fallout 4. But one of the lizards decided to record it on their phone. And they put it on all kinds of different services where they were very, very quickly terminated by the copyright holder, except for Pornhub, because I guess
Yeah.
they didn't think to look there.
I guess no one in Pornhub, they don't extradite people from Pornhub.
For a bit, because I went looking for this about 5 hours after the news broke, and it was already gone. So it was like, it had like extra few hours of life on Pornhub, which is another great concept for a band. But I the title of this video was, and you couldn't find it unless you like actually type this in. I think so. It was like on a need to know basis kind of video on Pornhub. So it was called "Hidden Camera Shows Audience Teased by Big Butt Men in Tights Live," which is something Wint would say. So, so I'm thinking maybe he was present at this presentation and actually managed to record this and then put it on Pornhub.
Oh god, I'm just imagining it when he says, and I stood on my chair with my phone out, and they yelled at me, and I said, "No, lizards, I will the Pornhub." Scumbags. Oh, Wint.
Do you know who does Wint? I wonder if anyone knows who he is.
I want to spend some time observing that person.
Turns out it's Bill Clinton.
Oh, no. But I could live with that. I guess he hasn't got much on.
No, not really. I mean, his retirement is kind of boring. So he talks about his big ass.
He took a dump in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
Right on the floor in the corner. The maid yelled at me.
So that, yeah, I think that was this week in all kinds of different news.
We did it, I think. We covered it all.
Yeah, Bill Cipher Triangle.
What's happening in chat?
I don't know, shitty camera, something. I'm not sure. But I think this.
I wouldn't let that happen. Usually I pick random shit. At this juncture, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. It's a good note to end this show on, I think.
Yes.
We did this for Bill Cipher Triangle.
We did it.
We did it.
The phrase for today. Today's show is sponsored by Bill Cipher Triangle and the number 17.
If you watch this show number 17 on YouTube, please press the appropriate buttons. We go live every Thursday around 10 p.m. BST in those cases where my shower doesn't break down. And thanks for watching. We're gonna see you next week. Bye.
Good show.